On behalf of San Diego Hunger Coalition, YMCA of San Diego County, and Hunger Free America, welcome to today's press conference on summer youth meals and the future hunger relief leaders taking action to keep our kids fed. My name is Amanda Mesha, and I'm the Hunger Free Kids Manager at San Diego Hunger Coalition. Today, you'll hear from a panel of experts who work on local and national scales to address childhood hunger. We'll also talk to our amazing AmeriCorps Vista volunteers who dedicate their time and talent to help our communities thrive. You will also have a chance to speak with our 4 Vista members after the panel and learn more about their experiences and impressions of the work and innovations of San Diego's hunger relief sector. Today's speaker lineup includes Anahid Bracke, President and CEO of San Diego Hunger Coalition; Anna Arancibia, Executive Director of the Jackie Robinson YMCA; and Joel Berg, CEO of Hunger Free America. Please also feel free to see our Director of Communications, Joel Shoemate, in the snazzy hat right there. He is recording this press conference, and he also has a run of show document for your list of speakers, including how to spell our names, links to their organizations, and more information on today's press conference. Now I would like to introduce our first speaker, Anahid Bracke. Anahid is the President and CEO of San Diego Hunger Coalition. She spent 10 years in San Diego's philanthropy sector in various director roles focused on health and human services and self-sufficiency grant making. In 2015, Ms. Bracke became the Executive Director of San Diego Hunger Coalition before receiving the title of President and CEO in 2019. Ms. Bracke provides San Diego's hunger relief sector with vision, leadership, and she infuses the sector's work with a collaborative spirit. Under her stewardship, the Hunger Coalition has launched multiple collaborative tables to bring together experts, advocates, decision makers, and leaders in the fight to end hunger in our region. Her work has elevated San Diego's hunger relief sector to the state and national stages. Please join me in welcoming Anahid Bracke.
Good afternoon. I'm Anahid Bracke, President and CEO of the San Diego Hunger Coalition. Thank you so much for joining us today to learn a little bit about some of the people and programs that are addressing summer hunger in our county. While hunger rates have dropped a little bit since the pandemic, childhood hunger is still a very serious problem in this region. Our research shows that an estimated 284,000 youth currently don't always have enough to eat. That's about 40% of all kids under the age of 18, or 2 in 5 kids. We know that times are still really tough for families, and that summer meals can really help stretch the household food budget. So we're here today at a summer meals site, at one of our partner sites with the YMCA, and to find summer meal sites like this, you can visit our website, sdhunger.org. Because of the pandemic, all school districts will continue to serve free meals for all students through the end of next summer, June 2022. We want all families to know that these meals are available and that no ID or registration is required. Parents can go to any open site to come and pick up meals for their kids. One of the things that I'm particularly proud of at the Hunger Coalition is our partnership with Hunger Free America and national anti-hunger leader Joel Berg, who has joined us here today. The Hunger Coalition has served as a placement site for national AmeriCorps service members for the past few years, and we have received so many benefits from these young, dedicated, and dynamic professionals, including a new summer meal finder on our website. So go to sdhunger.org, click on summer meals, and find your school district and there's a list of open summer meal sites that are going to be serving through the middle of August. When school starts again, you can go back to that list and see which schools are offering grab-and-go meals during the school year, when the school year begins. I want to thank Joel Berg and Hunger Free America. I want to thank our AmeriCorps Vistas and the YMCA and all of our colleagues and friends who have joined us here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anahid. Now I'd like to introduce Anna Arancibia, Executive Director of the Jackie Robinson Family YMCA. Ms. Arancibia is a leader focused on social literacy and the empowerment of people and community. She has more than 17 years of experience with the Y, climbing the ranks in multiple positions and serving as the branch's Associate Executive Director prior to assuming her current role as Executive Director. Ms. Arancibia drives change for the YMCA as a branch. I'm sorry, I'm going to start that sentence over again. I want to make sure I really honor this word. Ms. Arancibia drives change for the YMCA branch as a diversity champion, and she is dedicated to providing opportunities for families, adults, and youth to reach their fullest potential. Please welcome Ms. Arancibia.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. At the Jackie Robinson Family YMCA, we serve over 150 children weekly in our summer day camp program. Most of our campers qualify for free reduced lunches during the school year. To ensure there is no break in action, every summer for over 10 years, we have collaborated with the San Diego Unified School District Food Services Department to serve free lunches and snacks to every camper and the community. At the Y, through summer program offerings, we are focused on keeping kids mentally and physically active while ensuring they have access to healthy foods so they're well nourished. This will help kids stay healthy, active, and energized all summer long, ensuring they start the school year ready to achieve. The Y has already served over 33,000 meals this summer. Local Ys helping to address the childhood hunger include, of course, the Jackie Robinson Family YMCA, the Cameron Family YMCA, the Copley Price Family YMCA, YMCA Camp Surf, the McGrath Family YMCA, and the Ryan Family YMCA. Through these valuable partnerships, like with San Diego Unified, we are able to ensure no child goes hungry during the summer months. The summer food program here has truly been a blessing for all the families that we serve. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Ms. Arancibia. Now, I'd like to introduce Joel Berg, CEO of Hunger Free America. Mr. Berg is a nationally recognized leader and media spokesman in the fields of domestic hunger, food security, obesity, poverty, and food-related economic development. Prior to his work with Hunger Free America, he served for 8 years in the Clinton administration in senior executive positions at the USDA. Mr. Berg has been published widely on the topics of hunger and national and community service. It is under his leadership that Hunger Free America manages the Anti-Hunger Corps, the largest AmeriCorps Vista program dedicated to hunger relief. Mr. Berg.
Thank you. It's great to be here. First of all, thank you to the YMCA, and I'm especially honored to be at a site named after Jackie Robinson, the great Jackie Robinson. In fact, one of my best friends wrote what I believe is the definitive book on Jackie Robinson's first season in the major leagues, called Opening Day by Jonathan Ive, and this sort of feel-good story that Pee Wee Reese, one of the Dodgers, sort of embraced him in a tough time, probably never happened. And so the real story was a little less feel-good and a little more illustrative of the challenges we face today. I really enjoyed being here. I was coming from Phoenix yesterday, and I know you guys think this was a hot day, but around Yuma it was 110. So rounding those mountains and seeing the temperature going down, well, I'm going to heaven here. And thank you so much, Ranid, and the San Diego Hunger Coalition, all our amazing AmeriCorps Vistas who are working for dirt low educational awards and living allowances for the year, serving their community, getting things done while building community opportunity and responsibility. So thank you for you guys, and thank you to federal taxpayers for helping fund that program, as well as helping fund the summer meals program, which is mostly funded by the federal government. I always think it's vital to point that out. We have a very, very wealthy uncle named Sam, and we ought to acknowledge our good Uncle Sam when we all help him pay for things that benefit the community. So as I said, I have been traveling around the entire country, driving myself actually, to mark my 20th year with the organization. And I'm not celebrating because there's nothing to celebrate when tens of millions of our neighbors live in homes that can't afford enough food. Some of the narrative was that, in the pandemic, it's a brand new problem. And boy, the people who are hungry aren't who you'd expect. And respectfully, there's a real class bias and frankly a racial undertone to that. Now the new people are deservingly hungry. When in fact, before the pandemic, as I said, there were 35 million Americans living in homes that couldn't afford enough food. And while some of the narrative says, there was someone who used to be a donor to a food bank now online, that may be true, but that was only because they were lower middle class to begin with. By and large, what happened in the pandemic, people who were poor and hungry became poorer and hungrier, and people just at the edge of poverty and hunger became poor and hungry. And that's why programs like this summer meal site that the coalition's working with the Y and the federal government on, and our AmeriCorps Vistas on, is just so vital. To be schooled, you must be fueled. To be well-read, you must be well-fed. Those are my two Dr. Seuss sound bites for today. But it's backed up by a pile of evidence that we know there's a lot of drop-off in learning over the summer. And a lot of people say, kids aren't in school. It's also because they're not eating. Nationwide, 85% of the kids who get school lunches on a daily basis do not get summer meals. That's why we're thankful for the media helping to advertise this, thankful to all the partners getting the word out that these meals are here and are free. Just my little cheat sheet of a few hunger facts here from California. So, some people are declaring mission accomplished, COVID over, pandemic over, hunger over. Well, again, there were systemic structural problems, primarily people paid too little to pay for all their expenses, that caused the hunger crisis before the pandemic. And here in the San Diego area, with skyrocketing prices for homes and rents, people just don't earn enough to be able to pay for housing, healthcare, prescription drugs, transportation. And by the way, you probably know this, your gas prices are, I think, nearly $1 more than in Texas. And then, childcare. If you want people to work, they need to pay for childcare, and then clothing, and then what's left over for food. And so in 1 week, in one 7-day period in June, in late June, early July, the federal government said there were 2.5 million people in the state of California who didn't have enough food that week. 2.5 million people in just 1 week. And as you guys know, hunger is often episodic during a month, when your paycheck runs out, when your benefits run out. So if it's 2.5 million in 1 week, we know that the number in any given month for the whole year is far greater than that. And I always want to stress not only the vital impact of the food banks, and we've done work before with Feeding San Diego and the other food distribution organizations in the area. They do vital work filling in the gaps. But people need to understand that the federal safety net programs dwarf what even the best-run charities can distribute. Before the pandemic, the federal safety net was 15 times the dollar amount of food distributed by every charity in America. 15 times the dollar amount of food distributed by every charity, and providing more food choice. Since the pandemic, it's gone up. Here in California, in just April, 4.2 million people in the Golden State received SNAP benefits, what used to be called food stamps benefits. And there are many eligible people not getting it. And the vast majority of people in California getting SNAP are working people in working families, people working hard and playing by the rules and just don't earn enough to feed their families. In just that 1 month, the SNAP program spent $934 million in the state of California. It is a 22% increase in spending. 22% increase in spending because Congress and the president increased benefits. This year, the SNAP program in California, if we're on the same spending level, will spend over $11 billion. $11 billion in the state of California. Even in California, that's big money. The pandemic EBT program, which goes to families of kids who were in schools that were closed, will probably spend at least $1 billion or $2 billion in this state. So we just reinforce why these safety net programs are so important, why public-private nonprofit partnerships like the Summer Meals Program, the AmeriCorps Vista Program are so important. I'll just wrap up by saying that, I originally estimated I was going to go, 22 states and 8,000 miles. I think by the end of this journey, it's probably going to end up 10,000 or 12,000 miles in something like 25 states. And everyone stresses the differences between different parts of the country, the political differences, the ethnic differences, the differences in terrain. But the truth is, I've now been from northern Maine to Florida, to the whole Southeast, to Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and now here. And the similarities between Americans really strike me. And the fact is, I found in every single urban, suburban, and rural community in America, we still have hunger. Because everywhere in the country, people don't earn enough to pay for rent and meet their basic expenses. And everywhere in the country, I found that federal safety net programs like SNAP, like Summer Meals, like Pandemic EBT, like the Women's, Infants, and Children Program for pregnant women and children under 5 have been, bar none, the most effective response to this pandemic. And it's those programs that were what kept us from having starvation conditions like you might see in North Korea or Ethiopia today. Are they perfect? No. Do they have too much paperwork? Yes. Are groups like the Hunger Coalition in San Diego helping people try to overcome those barriers, both through advocacy and through facilitating applications? Absolutely. But as underperforming as those programs are, as many people eligible for them aren't getting them as there are, they are still the thing that's kept us away from mass starvation and the worst economic collapse since the Depression. So thank you so much, guys, for all your work and working together. We can end hunger in America. We're the only industrialized Western nation on the planet that has this level of hunger. This is a state that is the most agriculturally abundant state in the country. In fact, it's one of the most agriculturally abundant patches of land on the planet Earth. And it's appalling that we have hunger anywhere, but it's particularly appalling the Golden State, golden through this agricultural abundance, has millions of our neighbors here unable to afford enough food, and working together we can end that. Thank you.
Thank you, Joel, for that brief and efficient masterclass on hunger in America and California. I feel energized to continue this work. Okay, now we'd like to acknowledge our incredible VISTA members that we've been talking about. I'm going to go off script a little and ask them to come up here so we can see them here. So come on up, please, and thank you. So these are our AmeriCorps VISTA members that are assigned to San Diego. We have, I'll wait till our cameraman gets back so he can make sure he sees your beautiful faces. We have Ashley Jesnak, Irvin Gonzalez, Mara Miranda, and Annalise Pettit. These 4 individuals are hardworking, dedicated professionals who are providing a phenomenal service for San Diego community. We invite our members of the press to thank them and ask them questions, as well as speaking to any of our panel members today. But let's give them a huge round of applause for their service in the San Diego community. That wraps our official press conference, but please ask us all questions and learn more about our work. Thank you.